Welcome to Styles in Focus, where we take a deep dive into some of the styles
and sub-styles
that make up the colourful craft beer spectrum.
Roggenbier,
Lichtenheiner,
Pivo Grzycki.
Pre-Prohibition Porter, just some of the styles
we won't be covering.
Oh, well, if we're not covering those, then what are we covering?
I think you know, Chris.
Paul?
Yes,
Paul, I want a drink, but I don't know what I want. I want something red, but not like wine or Tizer. I want something hop forward, but also robust and malty. Paul? What's that?
It's a Red IPA!
So Paul, the Red IPA, what's all that about? Where the hell did it come from?
The hell it came from was America, somewhere in the early 2000s. Okay. So what we've got here is a combination between two other styles, which is the classic American IPA and the American Amber Ale.
So a style that we don't tend to have too much of around here.
No, you don't get it much in the UK.
So these tend to fall anywhere in the range of an ABV of 5.5 to 7.5%.
Yep.
And like you say, you're looking for the hop forward punchiness of an American IPA, but with a robust maltiness.
A robust is a great word, yes.
So what beers have we got here today to demonstrate the style?
So we've got a couple of UK examples of the Red IPA. So we start with this brew I've never heard of called Verdant. It's soft tea, I think. Verdant Brewing, never heard of them. I'm sure they're great. And this is a single hop interpretation. It's an experimental hop, Chris.
Yes, so I know that this is the first in the series of Verdant's small batch project. So what they want to do here is they want to take a Red IPA, but also put their own spin on it and use some experimental New Zealand hop for it. So it doesn't currently have a name, the hop, but I'm sure we'll find out if it's any good when we're drinking it.
Maybe we can name it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Fingers crossed.
What have we got on this side?
So Pentrich. This is a little bit of a cheat to say it's a Red IPA. It's actually a Red Pale, and it's lower ABV to what you'd probably get in this style typically. So Chris said it was sort of 5.5 to 7.5% typically, but this is a 4.5% pale. So I guess think of this as the pale equivalent of an IPA in normal land.
Well, I mean, I suppose even if this is, a Red IPA video, it's nice to kind of see the foundations of which that beer is kind of
It's
built out
slightly less ABV, but the reason we wanted to try this is, well, one, it was on the shelves. Two, it's using American hops, so this is Citra, Simcoe and Mosaic.
That's pretty much the three.
The three amigos.
The three hops, aren't
the big
they?
Three, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get stuck in on that. And
which one do you want to try
have some
first?
red beer.
Do you want to try both?
Tell you what, let's...
You crack that, I'll crack that.
Yeah, okay. It is going to be interesting to try a red ale and
a slightly lower ABV, less hopped version, I guess, you'll be trying. Look at the colour on that.
That is the Verdant, is it? The Verdant.
Well, the first thing you can notice, Pentrich Verdant is, the Pentrich version is a lot darker, and that's the American hop version. But again, that's multiple hops, 3 hops in there, and that's a single hopped. But yeah, the colour difference is quite pronounced actually. I'd say that's probably more classically red.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Although it's red, it's not really an attractive beer style, is it? It's probably it's only worse than the brown ale.
You're going into, oh my god, I left a pint of beer in the sun.
Territory. It starts. Yeah. It's not what you're kind of used to. I'd say Verdant's one here is giving you that. It looks. This looks like headband. It's got that kind of headband kind of colour.
Yeah.
So shall we take a sip on Pentrich?
Pentrich first?
I think so.
I guess it's the lower of the
It's the more traditional hops. It's the the foundation.
So immediately the malt just dominates, which is exactly what you'd expect.
I'll get the fruitiness up front as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a combination of the hops and the malt, to be honest with you, because the fruit's going to be kind of, I think American malts will be caramelised.
I was about to say caramelised
Yeah.
fruit. That's what I'm essentially getting on there.
That's a great smell, by the way.
Let's have a sip.
Good ronking, sir.
Good wrong to you, sir. Malt.
Smooth.
Yeah, I mean, straight away though, that's packing a malty punch.
Oh, that's nice, you know.
It's really easy sipping, actually.
Yeah, the dark fruit is just there. It's exactly what you want, but it's got a nice little bitterness, and it's kind of washing the palate as well, which is lush.
Yeah, that's really nice. I think smooth is the word there.
I'm just going to caveat this whole video, by the way, to say I'm not a massive fan of this style. So
No.
what I'm hoping here is I'm going to get a new appreciation for it. But that
Well, that was it. When we were having the discussion about what styles to touch with the Styles in Focus series, it was like, obviously, the easy contenders are, oh, let's look at what a double IPA is and a triple IPA and whatever else. But actually, we're seeing a lot of red IPAs out on the shelves at the moment. And I think your coloured ones, like your reds and your blacks, they're the ones that people want to know more about, I guess. And they're bringing something different to what an IPA is.
whether an amalgamation of sort of classical styles with this kind of new craft world spin on it, which is really good. So I think the bitterness there is really prominent, but my question about that...
It's quite laid back.
It's quite laid back, and would you know there was a Simcoe mosaic, and was it Citra?
Citra, yeah.
Or Citra. If you hadn't been told,
I think so.
would you?
Yeah,
Smart
I think so. I think the fruit is just right there. I still get it quite... It's almost like burnt pineapple. Like flambéed pineapple.
Yeah, I guess. I think the jalapeno chili pizza we had before this is...
Yeah, that doesn't belong in an IPA.
No, he's probably skewing my senses somewhat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good beer, man. I could drink that.
Now, obviously, this is a red pale. The red IPA has quite a lot in common with your American IPA, which packs a hoppy punch. I wouldn't say that necessarily packs a hoppy punch.
No.
That packs more of a lovely, smooth...
Malt.
Yeah,
Fuzzy.
that's really good.
Yeah. 6.8% this one, by the way.
We haven't tried that yet.
I know, but I'm saying the difference is
Oh yeah,
pretty
yeah,
massive.
yeah. So what are we going to expect moving on to this then? Well, we're going to expect this to be probably, although we know nothing about NZ 105, NZH 105, I imagine this is going to drop kick me in the tonsils.
I think you're probably going to get a bitter headbutt.
Should have a ronk? Good ronking to you, sir.
I need to spin up some head on this because it looks a bit fugly.
Look at that.
I think the downside to this style is, it's an ugly looking drink. It's not
Yeah,
aesthetically
yeah. I mean, I
pleasing,
don't mind that. It does look a bit...
Anyway,
May your ronk be forever true.
ronk on.
So straight away,
Okay.
that's more tropical.
Getting a bit of banana in there.
There is actually, yeah.
It's got a bit of a Belgian vibe going on in the smell there.
Yeah. Yeah, what?
Oh, that's interesting. Now, we don't know anything about this hop, of course.
Clovey? It's a bit
It's
spice, isn't it?
intensely Belgian-y, clovey and banana-y on the smell anyway.
Smells good.
It smells interesting, yeah.
It smells completely different to that.
Different drink.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose as a side-by-side. Malt everywhere in this
Yeah,
one.
completely
And I
different.
can't really smell any malt in this.
It's focusing more on the hops in this one, I think. But
Let's go.
for those who are about to ronk, we salute you.
Right, let's go.
Oh, God, the smell on that.
Oh,
What's that? What's going on? Stop it.
that's the drop kick I was talking about.
That is such a bizarre experience.
Wow. Yeah.
That is like a really fruited triple. It's really bizarre. So you've got all the qualities of a Belgian style beer in the aroma and the punch, but then it kind of like, it's got a creaminess to it.
There is, yeah, there's quite a nice, smooth, creamy...
I can't place what that smell is,
Sorry, it's not smooth, because it's bitter as fuck. It's great. It's packing a really...
It's got it all going on.
Yeah, that's a hoppy punch.
It's a hoppy punch, but there's kind of a mouth feel to it, which is, I'm really struggling to describe. Because it's like a creamy...
It's coating.
Yeah.
It's not like a malty beer that's also got some fruit in it. This to me is like a New England IPA, ramps it with some bitterness, but then also multi-graininess going on there as well. It's kind of like an all-encompassing.
It's like lime toffees have just been infused with loads of hop flavour.
The mouthfeel, now you've mentioned it, I can't get away from it. Like,
It's just clinging on.
it's just cream. You know, when you have a glass of milk and it leaves that kind of the residue in there, that kind of feeling. It's kind of what that's doing, which is really odd, and I've never had that with
No.
well, not with this style of beer.
I'm not convinced I'm loving this, by the way, but what I'm really enjoying is how different that hop is. If this hop is anything like it promises in this beer, in other beers, I'd be really intrigued to see, because I think that's really interesting.
It says on the can that they've used NZH105 for its citrus, dried fruit and woody characteristics.
Maybe it's the wood thing that I'm struggling to identify, but yeah, it's got it all going on across the spectrum there.
If you go back to the original Red Pale Ale, that's more in the kind of camp of, I suppose, your American amber ales. Not that I have many of those,
And
but
it's veering towards sort of classic malt-forward British beers as well. That feels a bit more. That feels like whoa.
So Paul, the Red IPA style, it's a nice bit of experimentation. Obviously the craft beer scene is renowned for its experimentation. It's the whole point. I mean, and definitely for a Red IPA, as it was originally intended to be a mashup between hoppy style and a malty style. So obviously there's going to be loads of these in America, but try and give us an idea of just some of the standout breweries that are probably making a good one at any one time.
It's pretty prolific in the States, as you'd expect, but you know, people like Cigar City, Founders, Evil Twin, you know, they're all knocking out this style on a regular basis, so yeah, looking good.
But then also on the UK side, obviously we've got Verdant doing something experimental. We've got Pentrich here kind of putting the red beer style in a very safe, comfortable bracket.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, you know, channel favourite Baron.
Well, hasn't he on Rate Beer, he's got the 10th best
In the world of
in
the
the
style.
world.
So you probably never get it again, but if he brews another one, hey, who knows?
Maybe brew it again, Jack, you never know.
But you know, Cloudwater are doing some really great stuff. Siren do a couple of red IPAs, I think. Colonel probably do, they do it.
Elusive.
Elusive, of
I mean,
course.
obviously Double Oregon Trail Red.
The Sunset.
that recently.
Yeah. I mean, that is knockout, by the way. And hopefully they do that every year, because that was a brilliant beer. Yeah. So there we go. Red IPA. Seek it out at your local bottle shop and give it a go.
So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any ideas for styles that we could cover in the future, then do let us know, because otherwise we're going to be scrimping around for ideas and we'll probably end up trying to find a pre-prohibition porter, which we're probably going to struggle with.
That's not going to happen.
Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.